In the quiet village of Iton, situated in the green hills of Kenya's Rift Valley, a girl named Wanjiku Chebet dared to dream far beyond what anyone around her thought possible. Wanjiku wasn't born into wealth or privilege. Her father worked as a motorcycle mechanic, her mother sold vegetables at the roadside market. Their home, a two-room mud house with a tin roof, shook whenever the wind swept down from the valley. But Wanjiku was not deterred by where she came from, only by where she was going. At 6, she started running to school every morning, not just to avoid being late, but because she loved the feeling of the wind against her face. She ran over gravel and grass, past cows and open fields, chasing more than just time. She chased something she couldn't yet name. Freedom, maybe. Power. She watched the Olympics with her father on their neighbor's tiny black and white TV. That was the first time she saw a Kenyan flag being raised, heard the roar of a crowd far away, and saw a young woman with a long stride and braids fly down the track. She pointed at the screen. "I want to do that," she said. Her father chuckled. "That's a nice dream, Wanjiku. Then you better start training." So Wanjiku did. She ran every morning before sunrise and again after school. By the time she was 15 years old, she borrowed books from her school's tiny library to study training techniques. She kept a worn notebook where she recorded her times, nutrition ideas, and inspirational quotes. Her classmates mocked her for running alone, for refusing sodas, for stretching in the dusty schoolyard. "Why are you trying so hard?" they sneered. "Girls like us don't go that far." But Wanjiku didn't flinch. She kept training, kept believing, because even when no one else saw it, she did. In high school, she finally got a coach. Mr. Mboya, an aging PE teacher with a limp and a loud whistle, saw something in her stride, her discipline, her fire. He registered her for the county trials. Wanjiku ran in borrowed shoes and came second. "Next time," she said, panting. She qualified for the national junior team, but that was when the real struggle began. Travel costs, training fees, proper gear. Her family couldn't afford any of it. She wrote letters to local officials, even stood in front of the Iton shopping center with a hand-painted sign, "Help a girl run her way to the world." People laughed. Some gave coins. One woman, a retired teacher, handed her a used pair of Nike spikes and said, "Don't stop." She didn't. Wanjiku trained harder, ran longer. She qualified for the East African Championships and placed 4th. It wasn't a medal, but it was proof. She belonged. But at 19, just when the door was starting to open, disaster struck. During a road run, she slipped on loose gravel and tore her ACL. The pain was excruciating, but the surgery cost was worse. The doctor told her 6 months off the track, if she could even afford rehab. Wanjiku fell into despair. She stopped writing in her notebook. She stayed home, watching her mother pack tomatoes, hearing her father's tools clink in the shed, feeling her dreams slip away. One day, a knock came at the door. It was Coach Mboya. He didn't say much, just handed her a folded newspaper. On the front page was a headline, "New Foundation launches to support young Kenyan athletes." He looked her in the eye. "Apply." Wanjiku did. She sent in her story. 2 weeks later, she got a reply, full sponsorship for rehab, gear, and return to sport support. She cried. Not because she was weak, but because she was getting another shot. Her recovery was slow, painful, frustrating. But she showed up. She trained. She healed. At 22, she entered the national trials again. This time, she won. She didn't just qualify for the Kenyan national team. She made the finals at the African Championships. She stood on that track, her name echoing through the stadium, her flag on her chest, her heart steady. She came second by a fraction of a second. But to her, it was victory. Back in Iton, when she returned with her medal, the entire village came out. Her father wept. Her mother ululated. And her classmates, the ones who said girls like her couldn't go far, asked for autographs. Wanjiku smiled and said, "Believe in the dream that makes others uncomfortable. That's the one that changes everything." Today, she mentors young athletes, especially girls from small towns, handing them notebooks and running shoes, saying, "Your dream is not too big. Your spirit is just right."